live on Facebook. I think we will be going live on Facebook pretty soon. So welcome to everybody. Fantastic to see people on here tonight. And are you in for a treat? I'm going to not spend too much time introducing myself, because I will do that when I come to speak. But I would like to just go over a couple of things. Welcome to those people on Facebook, and welcome from myself and Mo. I'm going to just go through some compliance before we actually start. So if we could just move on, that's fantastic. And I'll tell you about myself in a second. So we use some terminology in here. We say EIPs, MLCI and CREW, and you may not understand what we're talking about. So if we're talking about EIP, we mean the educational information products. MLCI is multi-level crowd investing, which you're going to learn about, which is really exciting. And CREW, which is the CryptoUnit internal points for tokens, digital stock analogy. So before we go any further, we don't sell and we do not have a license to sell shares or tokens, and all countries have their own rules for the sale of financial products, and we comply with the laws of every country. Most countries allow the sale of information products, which are our education products, without a special license, and we offer the opportunity to participate in wealth building training, which provides the fundamental principles on which wealth is created and maintained. We don't provide financial or investment consultations, so please do your own due diligence, and if you need any advice, you need to go to a licensed accountant, a financial advisor in your area for compliance, depending on which country that you're in. So thank you. If we could just move on. So this is myself. I'm Gail Potkin. I'm one of the representatives of the UK Local Leadership Council, along with Mo. Our task is to build up the UK, but we are a global business, and we're always happy to see people from other countries on the presentations, because we are a global community. And we are a new consumer community, and we have a partner program, and I'm a vice president within the that program. I'm also a crypto enthusiast. I love my crypto. I'm a speaker, private investor and entrepreneur, and I've got a 40 years financial services background. I've also got a qualification in clinical hypnotherapy and also in education as well. So that's my background, and that's who I am. I first got introduced to NEEW back in 2018, and at that time, when I was introduced to it, we only had one project, and I'm going to speak to you about that a little. We'll speak to you about those projects a little bit later on. However, what I didn't realise at that time, back in 2018, was something that I'd always been looking for to help people was financial education. I'd come from a financial services background. I'd worked with people, sat in front of them, you know, helping them to do their financial planning, but realised, you know, a lot of people out there, and the majority of people probably out there, have not got the knowledge, and it was always a passion that to try and give them some knowledge, so to try and give them some worth, because they didn't get it when they're at school. They're not, you know, they're not getting that financial education. I think they are starting to introduce it a little bit into schools now, because my grandson the other day actually was asking me what his task was to find out what compounding interest was, which is what you'll probably hear a bit later on, and also an annual percentage rate. So he's only 14, coming up to 15, so I think they are starting to introduce it, which is fantastic. But the majority of people out there are not educated financially. So when I got introduced to this and I saw the education that was on offer for people, it, quite frankly, it was like, oh yes, I've finally found something that I feel comfortable with. And along with some of the other things that we're going to share with you tonight, that's what really got me excited about what you're going to see tonight. So that's enough about me, and we'll just carry on with the presentation. Okay. we're going to go through a couple of things with you. I would like to introduce to you Mo. I've been working with Mo now for nearly 12 months. Like I said, our task is to build up the UK and to get as many people as we can engaged and understanding what a fantastic business that they're in. Mo's got a lot of background, and he was a data analyst, which I'm sure he'll speak to you about when he introduces himself, but he also brings a lot of the energy and enthusiasm to the business as well. So without further ado, I'm going to pass you over to Mo, and then I will speak to you shortly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Gail. That was a really great introduction. Thank you very much. Guys, please can you give a round of 8 to Gail to say thank you for Gail for her introduction, and she's going to be back later. She's going to present the latter part of the presentation, and then I think in the middle, I believe that we're going to get. I believe that Jacqueline's going to take on the middle. Is that right, Gail?
Unfortunately, we're not sure whether Jacqueline will actually be here, so I may take over. Jacqueline, I'll do Jacqueline's, and if Jacqueline does come, she can jump on at the back end. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, yeah. you know what? If you like, if you do Jacqueline's part, I'm happy to go to do the end, or I can get from the new economic evolution of the world if you like. Yeah, but okay, Fusi, thank you. And also put a rating from 1 to 10 about how good you're feeling about the future. 10 being I feel amazing about the future, and a 1 being I don't feel so good about the future. Okay, so 1 to 10, how do you feel about the future right now? Mimi's a 10, excellent. Fusi's a 10, excellent. Gail, what are you? You can type in the chat as well. Okay, guys, wow. So basically everyone's kind of feeling like a 10. And me, myself, I'm also feeling like a 10, okay? Which is really, really cool, because this company, as you all know, I'm pretty certain that you're all in the company right now. I think Selbamala's here as well. Welcome. So yeah, this company just has such a great future, and just look out tomorrow for the digital doubles and the data mining. Okay. In fact, put DD in the chat if you're looking forward to digital doubles. Maybe we'll tell you a little bit about that later. But right now, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I am a representative of the UK Local Leadership Council, and I'm a consultant within the community. I'm a Master Profi graduate, and if you haven't actually done the Master Profi course yet, definitely put your name down for that. In fact, type MP if you've done Master Profi. So type MP if you've done Master Profi, or M260 if you're doing M260, the Marathon 260. I'm an international speaker, private investor, and entrepreneur, thanks to this company. I am, you know, I started off studying physics, and I studied physics, and that led me into a data analyst career in the UK public sector, which basically led me to massive depression, right? I got to my lowest point. I got to a point where, well, I was such a victim of life, I wasn't even going to take responsibility for trying to end my life. I was just hoping someone else had run me over instead. So I wasn't even looking when I was crossing the road. That was back in 2014, well, 2012, 2013, really. But I went into therapy, and I discovered that working on my mind was actually really healthy for me. So that inspired me to learn neuro-linguistic programming. So since then, I am now an NLP master practitioner and a master hypnotist and a coach. I did a 6-month very intensive coaching qualification in 2015. And then I realized that, well, all the people that I'm meeting in these coaching environments, none of them have money, and they all want to quit their job and not have money, and no one has money, and everyone's trying to coach me in order to make money. And I realized that I was the same. And I realized, aha, what I really, really want to do is I want to just manifest my own wealth for myself. So since then, since about 2017, I've been really focused on learning about how to become wealthy and how to live off passive income and how to generate that for myself. So type PI in the chat if you like the idea of having passive income such that you don't have to think about your bills anymore. They're just covered, right? Type a PI in the chat now, please. Okay. We got a PI from Gail. That's awesome. Guys, you all know the drill. You all know the drill. Thank you, Selvamalar. Thank you, Selvamalar. Who else have we got? We've got, so yeah, Fuzi, Mimi, Selvamalar, Solomon, and a few others. Okay, cool, awesome. So since then, I've experienced like miracles in my life, and I've basically become an astrophysics graduate that has a love for astronomy and astrology, and yeah, an appreciation for the more secret laws of the universe, like the law of attraction. And I've even written a book about all these things called Powered by the Universe. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. So what are you going to learn about tonight? Well, many of you have already been here at this presentation a few times. So basically, you know that what we are is the Academy of the Private Investor, and we are a global online portfolio. And there is 9 years of Andre Hoverato's experience and expertise in this sector, teaching investment. This is Andre in the center of this photo here in the blue suit. And he's a really lovely guy. There's about 1.4 million people in our company that signed up to our company from over 175 different countries. And there are teachers with up to 23 years of experience in investment and the finance fields that teach in our company. Okay. We teach practical studies in the areas of finance, investment, and personal growth. And we even teach real case studies, group lessons, and we even do individual coaching and mentoring as well. Okay, so I'm going to tell you about investment thinking. Okay, so type an RK in the chat if you have heard of Robert Kiyosaki. Type an RK in the chat if you have heard of Robert Kiyosaki. And all of you should have heard of Robert Kiyosaki by now. So Robert Kiyosaki, he authored this model called the cash flow quadrant. Okay, and the cash flow quadrant basically highlights where people are, where wealth is, and where actually people want to be. And it's really cool because on you've got the left side and you've got the right side. Okay, most people, 90% of us, are on the left side. We either are employees and we are working, i.e. we have a job, or we are self-employed, i.e. we are entrepreneurs and we work for ourselves. Now, I don't need to tell you too much about this because I know that most of you already know about this. And if you're watching this presentation, the person that's referred you should have told you a little bit about this already. But basically, most people think, I have a job, I have an income, I put a little bit away for my salary or for my old age, and then I'll retire, and then I'll live off my pension. And that is the mindset of most people that are working on the employee side. Okay, and also on the employee side, you pay a lot of taxes. Okay, maybe like you earn over 100K and then you're paying 50% tax on anything above that. I can't remember what the threshold is, but I think it's 100K. So if you get sick of your job, or maybe you've already identified quite quickly that you didn't want to have a job, but you want to work for yourself, well, maybe you're self-employed instead. congratulations, you have a job that owns you. This is different to you owning the job. So a job that owns you is basically a business that you cannot take a holiday from, because if you don't work, the business doesn't pay for you. Me, myself, I wound up becoming an interim at for a local government agency. Okay, I was an interim manager, and what that meant was basically I was like a consultant. So therefore, they weren't paying me a wage; they were paying me as a company, and I was paying myself. So what that means is that then I'm paying business rates, business tax, as well as the tax on what I pay for myself out of my business. Okay. And if I don't work, I might be earning 3 times as much that's going into the business because they're not paying into a pension for me, but I have to pay into a pension for myself. I have to do that stuff for myself. I'm doing more as a self-employed entrepreneur for myself than I was when I just simply had a job and life was easy. So the solution to this, and I'm paying more tax as well, and the solution to this is actually the right-hand side, which is where all the billionaires are and where the real wealthy people are. Because when you own a business, it's actually you own the jobs. It's not the jobs owning you or the business owning you. It's you owning the business. And think about someone like Alan Sugar or Richard Branson. In fact, Richard Branson's a great example because he actually has 350 different businesses. Okay. Now, do you think that he spends every day thinking about 350 different businesses? Or do you think it's more like he spends 1 day a year on each business? Put a Y in the chat if you're getting this. Put an N in the chat if you're not quite getting this. But let me expand on that. So Richard Branson, he owns a business that has a CEO, that has a bunch of directors, that has people operating the business for him. He only has to be there for 1 day of the year. And he's not even there. He's on Necker Island and he invites his team out there. Okay. His management team, and he coaches them, and then they go away and they just enact the plans. Okay. So that's what it is to be on the right side, to be a business person on the right side. Now, when you have businesses that employ thousands of people, hundreds of people, thousands of people, you're creating a huge amount of tax revenue that would not otherwise exist. What that means is revenue that is generated from having employees, people that are on this left-hand side, or employing consultants, people are also on this left-hand side. And so therefore, the government tends to give you tax incentives. They let you not pay tax. So if you've ever wondered why Facebook and Starbucks and Google and the likes of these companies don't pay tax, well, that's actually because they generate so many jobs and therefore lots of tax revenue that would not exist anyway if it weren't for them. So they don't pay tax. And then if they're making so much profit and so much revenue, well, what do they do with that? They go into investing. Okay, they keep that money in the company, because as soon as you take the money out of the company, you've got to pay tax on it. So they keep it in the company, and they'll buy things like real estate or stocks or other companies. And so they never really pay any tax, okay, when you get to a certain level. So this is how 90% of the money is owned by 10% of the people in the world, okay? Look up Robert Kiyosaki, look up his book, Cash Flow Quadrant, look up his other book, his more famous book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and study Robert Kiyosaki, okay? Type good if this is good information. Please type good in the chat if this is good information. Wow, we've got some more people that have shown up. Stephanie, welcome. welcome, and welcome Solomon, Salvamala, Mimi, and Fusi again. Thank you. Okay, so we have a problem in the world. This map shows you the level of financial literacy by population in the world. Can you notice a pattern? So the blue is where people are financially literate, and the orange tends to be where people are not so financially literate. Now, if you consider where the wealth of the world is by population, you'll find that Europe, Northern America, and Australia tend to be places that have, you know, a strong middle class, where people are doing fairly well. They're doing well enough in their lives that they are comfortable. But if you look at all of the orange regions, or, well, if you look at the orange regions, they tend to be places that have more working class people, a greater proportion of working class people. Okay. Now, this chart has been put together by Standard & Poor's, who are they basically put together this global financial literacy survey. And so they basically worked out that basically the richer places in the world tend to be the more financially literate places in the world. And so can you imagine that this is quite a big problem? Type a Y for yes and type an N for no. So let's see what you think. And I'll just move on the slides here. So look, we have a solution, okay? We offer training courses that are aimed at personal development, self-development, and basically improving goal setting and planning and financial literacy for the formation of investment thinking, and also learning different business building methods and strategies. So we offer personal growth, investment courses, and business education. Okay, so understand that first and foremost, we exist to teach financial literacy, and we are doing this all over the world. So is this good or is this good? Type good in the chat. Stephanie, yes, people are more familiar in those blue countries than they are in the orange countries. Absolutely. Type good in the chat if you're understanding that that's what our mission is financial literacy. Thank you. Okay, so our company there's so many people that have achieved so many awesome results within this company. And all of the people that you see on this slide here and on the next slide, they're all leaders in the UK. And I'm just going to read a couple of stories, and I'm going to hand over to the next speaker. If indeed Jacqueline is here, I don't know. Well, maybe I'll just hand over to Gail. I think Gail is going to be here. So I'm going to tell you about Simona Petrova from Varna, Bulgaria. She is only 22 years old and has a professional bachelor's degree from the College of Tourism in Varna. She joined MLM at the young age of 15 and became the youngest manager in the Balkans in just 1 year. 4 years later, she decided to search for new ways to improve and keep developing. She found her new passion with finances and went to the USA in order to increase her capital so that she could start her own business. As soon as she returned, she began looking for opportunities, and finally she came across the investment world. In May 2019, on the same day of her final examination, she heard about this new economic evolution of the world and the Academy of the Private Investor, and she joined straight away. She loved the three components of education, co-ownership, and business because that was everything that she was looking for all in one place, and she knew she could use it to help other people. Since then, she has been sharing this opportunity with everyone who is ready to make the next step towards their growth and to change their lives to be successful. Okay, I don't think we have time for another story. Just be aware that there are people to inspire you all throughout this company. All you have to do is just keep engaged with these presentations, go back to your people and the people that have brought you into this company, that are bringing you into this company, and basically ask them. So I'm going to pass back to Gail, and I think Gail, you're going to take over from this point, right?
Yeah, I'll go through. Yeah, no problem
cool.
at all.
Excellent.
So if you could move on, because I think I've already explained to everybody who I am. Jacqueline, unfortunately, was going to be here tonight. She can't be here with us, but she will be on Thursday. So what are we all about? Okay, Mo has summed up the education side of it really, really well, because there is we all know there is a need for that financial education, and that is what we are. We're an education company. We teach people how to become financially literate, how to recognize certain things in the marketplace, what they do, and how they can help you. On top of that, we are a club. We're a membership club, and I think most people at some point have been in a membership club. Pop an M in the box if you've ever been in a membership of any description. For example, you may be the membership of a gym, you may be a member of the golf club, you might be a member of a book club. You know, there's lots and lots of different types of memberships out there. Okay, so if we could just move on. So what does our VIP club membership give to people? Okay, it helps you to learn how the knowledge you get at the academy, you can actually put this into practice. Okay, the VIP club is an exclusive club, and when everybody comes into the business to purchase the education, they also now purchase the membership as well. That becomes part of it. So it's an elite club of people, of like-minded people. We receive discounts on the products, which is the education products that you will see, and other products that we will be sharing with you as you get to know more about this business. We have exclusive offers. We've got access to the CryptoUnit program, which I will talk to you about in a short while, and its bonuses. We get additional income streams, and we participate in the closed monthly meetings. So we are a true membership where we have monthly meetings, and you participate, or you can participate online if you want to. So if you just move on. So let's have a little look at the education courses that we actually do. So when anybody comes in, they choose where they want to start. So they can start at a beginner, basic, elementary, right up to the higher education. And each package, dependent on the cost of the package, and they start really, really low cost, and I'll go through that with you in a second. But for each package, you get more information and more education. So like anything else out there, that you can build up, or you can go straight in, and you can go straight for the higher education. It's entirely up to yourself which level you feel you're at. And we have a number of courses that people can go through. Have the next slide, please. So what is the cost? When Mo was talking, he was talking about bringing financial literacy to the world. So to do that, we have to cater for everyone, okay? And we have to cater for different knowledge as well. So some people may know absolutely nothing, and they're going to come in at the beginner, or other people might say, well, actually, I know a lot more. And the pricing we've put so that the whole world can take part in what we're going to share with you today. So it starts off with an EIP at 50, basic package 250, and by the way, a unit for us is equivalent to $1. So we're talking $50, $250, 1,000, 4,000, 10,000. The unit is our own, what we pitch the dollar against. Okay, so every time that you buy one of these packages, which is teaching you and educating you, you're going to receive a bonus with each purchase, and the bonus is in the form of our crew. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you now what the crew is. So if you could just move on. Our CryptoUnit project is really, really exciting. It does get exciting every day. There's something more to share with people. But we started off basically in 2019. That was when the CryptoUnit program started. Okay, and as you can see, we had a timeline and we've progressed along that timeline. We're now at a stage where we have developed our own blockchain. We initially entered into January an Ethereum blockchain, but then soon realized, and it was always on the cards, that we were going to create our own blockchain. So the blockchain is something that, you know, it's exciting because we've got our own blockchain. You know, we have control of it. And, you know, it's something that this actual presentation, we don't go into the blockchain, and we do have other presentations that do. But once you start to learn about it, it is very, very exciting. So basically, we've got the education. You're then gifted the crypto units as a bonus. We're progressing really, really well. March this year, we launched our internal crew exchange, and we will be progressing further on in August and developing that exchange so that traders will be coming on. So basically, what is the crypto unit? The crypto unit is a share in a global portfolio. The global portfolio, or the crew program as we call it, it was created based on these multiple investment markets. So the idea is that they are carefully evaluated by the investment department, and according to the financial plan, to decide whether it's a good instrument. Is it something that should be in our portfolio? Okay, and the aim is to take in all these 20 different investment markets. So we have different sectors that I'm going to show you next. So if we could just move on.
This slide?
Yeah.
Or this slide?
That one. Yeah. So the things that we have in our portfolio, which we saw on the other slide, the different market sectors, we have different businesses within our portfolio. Things that we've looked at, the financial department's looked at, it's been evaluated, and it's in our portfolio. So in other words, we are co-owners of these businesses. So the first one that I always like to look at is the gold, because gold, when we're in a crisis, as we are at the moment, especially a financial crisis, gold always, it's like an insurance policy. It's there, it's solid, and it increases with value, and gold is increasing. Now we have a massive holding of gold through the mining, looking where the mines are. We get the gold out of the ground, and then we sell it, and it can be traded. So the value to our portfolio is absolutely huge, and the money that will come into our portfolio as the gold is brought from its natural source and produced, it will just be in the trillions. So there's an awful lot of money to be made in gold, and we have that within our portfolio, and we are co-owners in the gold mining and the other companies that we have. We're also in the restaurant and food industry, and that is being developed all the time. And when you actually join the company, you'll start to learn more and more about the actual assets that we have got within our portfolio. The film industry, you know, culture, film industry, absolutely huge. We've got a 50% holding in KG Club Production. The first films should be out later on in this year, and will be aimed initially at the Asian and the Indian markets, where, you know, the film industry is huge. You know, Bollywood, the multi-billion-dollar industries. You only have to look at the box offices and how much money that the film industry makes to realize how much money is to be made. And that is all included in our portfolio. Another gem that we've got is the basalt technology. You know, basalt, I'd never heard of it till we came across this. And you know, basalt is a natural product from the earth. It's from lava, it's from rock, volcanic lava. It's also found in the ocean beds as well. And you know, that can be taken and they can produce that, and it can go into production, and it can be used just like any other material. So for example, it can be used in the aviation, car industry for building cars, the construction industry. You could even make replace plastic bottles and make plastic bottles out of it. There's a huge area that this can be used, again, with co-owners, 50% holders in that company. So basically I suppose we're like the business angels, you know, where companies will come to us with a project if we think it fits our ideology, that it's eco-friendly, that it's good for the world, the environment, then you know, it's something that could be fitted into the actual portfolio. So again, the portfolio is a part of our program where you become a co-owner by purchasing the education, and then you're gifted these precious shares into this global portfolio. And today that portfolio is worth over $404 million. Okay, and that only started in 2014. Okay, so if we could just move the slides on. So the CryptoUnit program, just to recap, it gives you co-ownership of the Crew global portfolio. Now, there's not many places when you start investing will give you a loyalty bonus. Okay, this does. Okay, so this will give you a monthly loyalty program bonus dependent on the value of the portfolio and the liquid assets within it. You also receive the profit bonus. Now, the profit bonus is a bit like a dividend. Okay, so the dividend that you would get with a normal type share, we call ours a profit bonus. I like to call ours a digitalized share. So if you think of shares in a company or companies, you're looking at a share in a portfolio, but we do it through our CryptoUnit program that will go to a securitized token, and it will be regulated, and it's going to be very transparent. Okay, the Crew, the value, the growth will increase because of the assets, and as the assets grow, so will the value of that token, that securitized token, grow as well. And we will be circulating into global merchandising to the end of this year, latter end of this year as well. Okay, so that's the actual CryptoUnit. If we could just move on. So this is just a step-by-step guide. How do you get started? Well, the first thing is you look at the Academy of a Private Investor, you make the free registration, and you become a member of the VIP club and receive bonuses. You can then choose the right education package to fit your needs, and then you take action and you just go for it. Okay, so it's a very simple process. Sign up, become a VIP member and receive your bonuses, choose the right education package, and off we go. So if we can go to the next one. Oh, I'm back again. This is where I think I should have come in. Would you like me to continue, or do you want to carry on, Mo?
You can continue if you want.
Okay.
I'd like to do the new economic evolution of the world, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course you can.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, carry on. So what else can we do with what we're showing you today? Well, you can actually earn by learning. So by purchasing the education, you're starting to learn. But at the same time, we're gifting you something where you can start earning as well. And you can earn by what you're learning as well, and you can earn by what you're being gifted. Okay, next slide. We spoke earlier about what is multi-level crowd investing. Now, this is a completely new concept, and it's the best of both worlds. I love it. Multi-level business and investment business. Okay, so you can have the best of both worlds. If you love MLM, fantastic. If you just love investments, fantastic. And we've combined the two together. There is nothing out there like this. Okay, so it may seem a little bit, multi-level crowd investing, I've never heard of that. But this is exactly what we do. We spoke before about business angels. We spoke about, you know, helping other companies. You know, we're in a global crisis at the moment, and there's lots of companies out there that perhaps the business isn't going the right way. You know, they go to the banks are struggling, so they don't get that money to help them. You know, and this is what our whole aim is to try and eventually do. And we are building that as we go along now. Multi-level business, you know, we've got accessible training. We run it as a home business. You're your own director. So when Mo was showing you the 4 quadrants, you've now become your own director, your own employee. You can work online. You can have unlimited revenue. You can have an international business because we're a global business. And you can realize your dreams really quickly in a short period of time. You know, people work 40 years to get a pension, which is hardly anything at the end of it, and is reducing year by year as we go along. Okay, this is something that you can build solid foundations in a short period of time. Okay, so between, say, you can be earning straight away, but you can really build something for the future with your MLM business. Now, the one thing that you can't do with MLM and a traditional MLM type business is you can never be a co-owner of it. Okay, now you will always have somebody who owns the company, but you're never going to be a co-owner. So it's fantastic, and a lot of people out there do MLM. You know, I've been in plenty of MLM business before, but what I liked was when it actually became attached to my other passion, which is the advice in the investment business, learning about investments. Okay, so this is what this does. You know, this gives you investment consulting training through the education. It gives you the instruments and co-ownership through the global portfolio, where you're gifted the crew. And it gives you an opportunity to increase your capital very quickly. You know, the assets are managed for you. We've got fantastic assets there. And you can create millions of dollars in assets in the next 24 to 60 months. And it's something that we as normal everyday people probably could never have got involved with. You know, to go and try and invest in a company, you know, you might have to put 40, 50 million into that company, or, you know, 100,000, whatever the company is, you know, but we are now co-owners in these big, massive companies that are actually going to bring in an awful lot of money. And we've got so much exciting things to be added to the portfolio as well, which again, you'll learn more about as you go on more of these types of these calls. So if we could just move on. So what have we achieved since 2014? We've got over 750,000 partners worldwide. We've got business operations in 175 plus countries. How many presidents have we got in this company? There's 71 presidents. That's reaching the top level of the company. Okay, we speak 11 languages. And next year, the educational courses are planned to have language courses in them as well. You know, how amazing is that? You know, we've paid out 98,978,463 units, which remember is $1, in bonuses alone, because there's more to this business. Remember when we spoke about the loyalty bonuses? You know, and we've achieved, this is a little slide, actually a little bit out of date, because we've actually achieved over 1.44 million registrations in the last 5 years. And to be perfectly honest, in the last 12 months, we've probably had near to 1 million registrations. This business has developed in the last 12 months. We've been going since the Academy of Private Investors has been going since 2011. 2014 was when the global portfolio was created with $26,000, now $404 million. And that was created from the education that is available to everybody. Okay, so if we can move on. And we spoke about stories of success, and it is important, you know, we recognize people for their success stories, and we know all these people. You know, these people are known to us, that they have a presence. They don't just think, oh, well, I've made it now. These people are here to help us all, but they all started off, you know, some people were just like working in a hotel. A man's, for example, he's not on this slide, he'll run a bit later on. He worked in a hotel in London. He was a bellboy. He had a really bad back injury through his work and ended up having to give up. He found in 2014 this company, and he has never looked back. He is a millionaire and probably a multi-millionaire by now. Okay, just from this company alone, just by putting into practice the strategies and what he's earned from the actual business side of it as well, which we will go through with you a little bit later. So if we could just move on. More success stories and the advantages of the MLCI business. Like we say, you know, what there's no better time to be working from home and being your own boss. You know, starting your international business from scratch, you know, while other businesses are struggling at the moment, and it's tragic what's happening out there, you know, we are flourishing, we are increasing. You would not believe the amount that this business is growing week on week, day by day. There's unlimited earnings potential, multiple income streams, and there's a unique business model, and there's massive leverage across the entire network as well. Okay, can move on. So how do you become part of the project? We sort of said this before, and I'll just go over it again. You just register, you get verified. You know, everybody who comes into this project has to be verified. We have a legal department, you know, we're compliant. We have to know who everybody is. You have to know what we call KYC, know your customer, know your client. So we're a very, very compliant business. And then you participate. Okay, you choose the education, choose what you want to participate in, and then you put it into practice. So you learn, you start to learn, and then you start to put into practice what you're learning. And at the same time, I'm going to show you how you can earn as well. Okay, next slide. I'm not going to show you. I think Mo is, because Mo is now going to present to you what is the new economic evolution of the world. So over to you, Mo.
Guys, please put your hands together in the form of a round of 8s for Gail, because that was just that was a super passionate presentation from Gail. Put a round of 8s in the chat, please, for Gail. That'd be amazing. And welcome to the new attendees that have joined us. Yeah, it was really, really cool, wasn't it, Stephanie? Thank you, thank you. So guys, our mission is the new economic evolution of the world. Okay. And what this is it's built on everything that we've talked about today. Okay. So our vision is to raise the level of financial literacy for the whole world, such that actually more people can feel a sense of abundance and security in their lives. And when people feel like that, then there'll be less pain. There'll be more people just living more peacefully and living more in harmony with each other, and also with all the other inhabitants of the world, like plants and animals and even mountains and air and streams and rivers and oceans. Okay, so we're talking about doing this through a global redistribution of wealth security and protection through helping others to their own prosperity and happiness and realizing their dreams. Okay, so type a 1 to 100 in the chat for how much you would like to see a future like this. Okay, type a 1 to 100 in the chat. You can go off the scale if you like. Thank you. So guys, again, we are built on not only the education pillar, teaching financial literacy, but we're also proving that the stuff that we teach actually works. And that's what the portfolio is. That's basically what we have created, built on the teachings, the investment teachings. And then on top of that, because we are changing lives for over 1 billion people on the planet, and we're not stopping at 1 billion people, we're rewarding our networks in the form of the business part, the multi-level part that Gail just spoke to you about, the multi-level crowd investing part. And the businesses that we are crowd investing for are, of course, these very, very ethical businesses that match our philosophical standards. Okay, so type good in the chat if that's good, or type good in the chat because it just is good. Just type good in the chat. Thank you. So this is our presidential council. Gail has already told you a little bit about Armand's, but maybe you don't know that much about, say, Andre. Okay, so Andre, he was educated by his parents in investing. His parents were, he actually grew up with money. His parents were rich, you know, investors anyway. And they taught him from the age of 12. And by the age of 18, he already had a $1 million portfolio. And then he went into network marketing businesses as you know, in his early 20s and 30s, and he got really, really good at doing the network marketing part of it as well. You see, in network marketing, network marketing doesn't have a hugely amazing reputation here in the UK. Certainly, I don't know about where you guys are, but out in Russia, it's more accepted. And basically, it's where you meet millionaire wannabe women, you know, who have similar goals to what Andre was looking for in life at that time. People that he want, you know, women that he might want to marry, right? And then, you know, he did deals, did the networking and all that kind of stuff. And actually, through deals and stuff, I believe that he's actually been bankrupted 3 times, okay? Which might not sound amazing, but the fact is he's also come back from bankruptcy 3 times so he's gone from 0 to millionaire 3 times. So he's very, very, very well practiced in going from 0 to millionaire. Most wealth trainers, and I've studied with a bunch of them, they might have done it once or twice, maybe not even twice, okay? But he's done it 3 times. So I know whom I want to learn to be a millionaire from. Type in E in the chat if you understand that it's actually to do with your education than it is to do with your money, okay? You don't need money to get rich. You need education to get rich. You need knowledge to get rich, okay? So Richard already is rich because he's called Rich. Sorry. So guys, what will be your decision? What will be your decision? Are you going to leave everything as it is in your life, or are you going to invest in your education, your financial and investment literacy, okay? Are you going to create multiple sources of passive income for yourself and become part of a like-minded community? Are you going to create in yourself the ability to create assets that bring in passive income for you? Are you going to leave a legacy for your children and the next generations of your family. So guys, we are at the end of the presentation. We finished it just before 8, which is amazing because we do tend to go on, I know. So thank you so much for attending, and thank you to those of you on Facebook as well that are watching. If you like, we've decided we're going to put it to the vote actually. So look, I'll hand back over to Gail to close us out because you're hosting. So Gail, thank you very much, and take over from here.
Sorry about that. It does help if you unmute yourself when you start talking. Right. Yeah. So what we decided was, obviously, we every week we do the 8 rules of a private investor on a Tuesday. So a lot of you may have been on and heard this already. So what we thought was perhaps do something a little different tonight, but we want your say so that we can do that. And what we'd like to do is perhaps do a little questions and answers, anything you particularly want to talk about. You know, tomorrow's a big day for this business because we've got digital doubles. Now, put in the chat if you've heard of digital doubles, if you've watched a presentation on digital doubles. Just pop a D in the chat.
Pop an N in the chat if you don't know what we're talking about with the digital doubles.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so there's some people who are not sure what digital doubles is. Just saw briefly on Facebook yesterday. So it's entirely up to you whether we have a little brief chat about what's coming tomorrow. Obviously, we're not going to go into massive detail, but we can give you an overview of that and perhaps take some questions and give some answers. Or do you want us to go on and do the 8 rules of a private investor? If you want us to do the 8 rules of a private investor, put an 8 in the chat. If you're happy to do a questions and answers and learn a little bit about the digital doubles, then put a B in the chat. B. You can tell I'm not used to doing this A and B. Okay. So there's a couple of people, digital doubles. Anybody want to do that? Nobody's sort of answering us. Right. I'll tell you what, should we make that decision?
Well, so Stephanie, I think Stephanie's saying digital doubles as well.
Yeah.
So it's looking like more people are interested in that anyway. Is there anyone else, any other answers, guys? Or we're just gonna tell you a little bit about what's happening tomorrow and what the future of it is. Okay, I think let's just go, Gail. Let's just do it. Yeah.
Let's go for it. Yeah. Right. Okay. Digital double starts tomorrow. Okay. Now I'm going to ask a question, and I'd love you to just try and put something in the chat and think about what I'm going to say to you. But what is the hardest thing that most businesses and individuals find, either whether you're working in a traditional business or whether you're working online? What's the hardest thing? What do you need to build your business? Okay. So what would you say you need to build your business? Marketing, fantastic. That's a good one. Yeah. Converting sales, fantastic. Yeah. Anything else? Well, we need people. We need people to speak to, because without people to speak to, we will struggle. Most businesses will struggle. If you've got a traditional business and you've nobody to share your goods with, then you're not going to do very well. If you're a network marketer and you work online and you're trying to share what you've got with other people, whether it be a product or whether it be this fantastic business that we've got, you need something and you need people. Okay, now most people will have a Facebook account, they may be on LinkedIn, may have Twitter, and they'll have to sit and search for people and find people to talk to, and then they need to have this conversation with people, which they might not always feel too comfortable with. Okay. We have now got digital doubles, and digital doubles is the solution to that. Now, it's not fully launching tomorrow. I just want to make you aware of that. Okay, but what we have got is we've got the start of it in something called data mining. Okay, so what is data mining? Okay, so data, sorry about this, my phone, just let me turn this off. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I did keep my Facebook on there. I do apologise for that, only because I could then see how many people we'd got on the Facebook Live. Yeah, so what is data mining? Data mining is where we will have lots of people having our eyes on us, basically, but it's also building up connections. Okay, and digital doubles they will build up these connections through our social media accounts, which will drive people to us who are really interested in knowing what we have. Okay, so instead of us going looking for people, we will start having people who want to have conversations with us. So that's the first part of it, but at the same time it's building up a massive, huge database of people. And why do we want this massive, huge database of people? Well, that's so we can sell the products that are going to be coming on board to them in the future. Okay, as well as we've now got the opportunity to actually speak to people. So initially with the data mining, it's going to drive people. Initially it's going to be LinkedIn. Facebook will come, but not just yet. So the people will come to our LinkedIn accounts. They'll want to have conversations with us. We will be able to converse with them and talk about our businesses. Okay, so that is something that's absolutely huge. Now, the next part of it is the actual digital doubles. Now, all this is run through AI, artificial intelligence. Don't get scared. Don't think we're going to be having little robots running around. That's not the case. It's very, very advanced. But, you know, the fantastic thing about it is with the digital doubles that will come out after. So we're testing it. We're all going to be testing it, and it will be being increased. The mining will increase. We'll become what we call data miners. And the good news is we will get some rewards for that, for being data miners. So depending on how many people that you get going through your accounts and how many people in the future will purchase the products from your connections, and not only your connections, but their connections as well. So you can imagine we're talking of hundreds of thousands of people will become under your structure if they've come from you initially. Okay, so this is huge. Believe me, this we're just sort of touching on it, but this is going to be huge. But for you, what does it mean for you as a marketer? It means people are going to start coming to you, and then the next stage is the digital doubles is going to be a little clone of yourself. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that there will be scripts that are pre-written scripts, and which you can put your own personality on, because remember, it's starting to learn about you. So we've got to sort of train it to be like us and to have these conversations with people. So it will do these conversations on our behalf. Okay, but at the end of it, when these conversations are going ahead, and that other person thinks, do you know what, this is a business that I really want to find out more about. Okay, that's when you come in. So it will always have you as a human being, as a real person at the other back end of it that finishes it off. So it's done all the hard work. So if you can liken it to, it's done all the hard work for you, and you're just now, you've got the person there, they're ready to have a look at what you've got to offer, and we take it from there as a human being. Okay, but the side of it, money side, there will be income coming in. Look, it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in the next few weeks. This has got to build up. It's like everything. If you've got a business, you know, we talk about this all the time, you know, you plant the seed, you need to look after it, you need to water it, you need to work with it, be there with it. And at the end of it, there's going to be a massive big tree for everyone. Okay. And when it's unleashed, because at the moment it's only available through the VIP club. So if you're not a VIP, get in your back office and make yourself a VIP. Okay. That's one of the benefits of being a VIP if you're an existing member. So, you know, you will be, you'll have the privilege of being able to have a look at this. Tomorrow, there's only 1,000 people worldwide who they're going to bring on board. The reason for that, don't panic, because everybody will be able to come in if you don't get the opportunity, me included. There's no preference. You know, it's just the first 1,000 people to sign up for it will test it. And then when everything's looking good and we're testing it and everything, and we have had preliminary tests on it, there has been some people testing it already, and the results that they're getting is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so, you know, once that happens, then it'll be released to everybody, and eventually will be released to other people as well, but not yet. It's not ready for yet. This is our baby for now. So if you've got people who want to be part of this, they need to be part of NEW. Okay, so they need to sign up, get the education, and also join the VIP, which they'll do straight away now, and then they've got the opportunity to be part of digital doubles. So it's a fantastic another business. So do you know what the cool thing is though? Because now we've got something to really talk to people about, because, you know, I've spoke to some people who say, well, you're not quite sure how to explain NEW. How do I explain it? Now we've got something to explain it, because now, you know, we can say, well, you know how I've showed you this digital doubles, and I've talked about the digital doubles to you. Well, yeah, well, actually, I'm a co-owner of that. And they'll go, what do you mean a co-owner? Well, I actually am a co-owner of this business. Oh, you own it yourself? No, I'm a co-owner I own it with a lot of other people. Okay, so as a co-owner, I'm going to benefit from it. So not only am I going to benefit from having all these people to be able to speak to now, okay, and remember, marketing is a numbers game, as any business is a numbers game. So now what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to benefit, because that digital doubles is part of our portfolio. So we part own digital doubles. So any profits from that in the future will go into our portfolio, which we're co-owners of. So we earn from being a data miner, we earn because we're now speaking to more people and bringing them into this business. And then when all the products come out that will happen over the next 12 months, you know, you're going to see income from that as well. Okay, and on top of that, the portfolio will increase in value. So it's a win-win situation. Okay, has anybody got any questions that they want to type in the chat? I'm very aware that I've actually looked at the Facebook Live. There are some people on it, but I can't see where the questions are, unfortunately, on that. So I'm just going to have to say, ask away, ask any questions that you want in the chat. Okay. Anybody got any questions? Do you understand? Do you understand what I've just said? If you have, if I've not made it clear, if you understand it, put a 1. If it's not quite clear, put a 2. 1. We've got 1s.
Is there anyone that is a 2? Because there's can I add something, Gal?
Yeah, of course you can.
So there's 3 tiers that are going to be launched tomorrow. So as Gail said, we're launching the data mining part of it tomorrow.
Yeah.
And to be clear, all it will connect to is LinkedIn. Okay, and so at the point tomorrow, it's the data mining part. It's just LinkedIn that will be available to connect to. Okay, so there's 3 different tiers. So the first tier is 100 units, and that basically gets you, I think you can connect 2 networks maximum, and it gives you a certain rate of people that it approaches to make connections.
I think it's
okay.
total of 5,000.
Right, total of 5,000 people, but across 2 networks maximum. And the second tier is 150 units, but this is cool because if you get that, you can connect as many networks as you like, although obviously tomorrow there's only LinkedIn that you can connect. But you're open to, in future, when they can connect Facebook and WeChat and all the other stuff, then you can connect as many networks as you like, as many people as you like, and you also get you get the fastest rate of it going out and making connections, so it's faster, and on top of that you also get 350 crew. So if you don't already have a lot of crew, you could buy a package that involves buying crew as well. Okay. And then there is a third tier, which is the $500 tier, the 500 unit tier. And that tier, it's the same as the business tier, but you get 3,500 crew. So you get a load of crew. You get 10 times as much crew for that package. So if you remember, thank you, Selbamala. Nice to see you again. So if you get the 500 unit package, then you get 3,500 crew as well as the highest rate, and you also get training videos as well. Okay. I think the training videos are normal kind of investment training videos rather than necessarily digital double specific. Okay, so just be aware of that. So basically it's a package that you can buy for 500 units that involves the data mining, 3,500 crew, and a load of investment training videos. Okay, so pick your package, and in fact actually maybe type a 100, a 150, a 500, or even a 0, depending on what packages you're going to buy tomorrow. I know what I'm going to buy. Yes. Snap, Gail.
Definitely.
Okay, okay, does anyone have any other questions? It can be about digital doubles, it can be about the training, it can be about the presentation, it can be about anything. Does anyone have any questions? You can type in the chat, or you can type in the Q&A.
And it is tomorrow, isn't it, Mo? Does it start tomorrow at 10?
10, is it 10 o'clock Moscow time tomorrow?
12 Moscow, I think, tomorrow.
12 Moscow time, okay.
10 a.m. UK time, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there training in NEEW which helps you to handle the social aspects of the sales process? Yes, there is. Challenges with working with people? Absolutely. There is a program that you can join. I don't know if you can still join it, but I think it's still available to still join. But Gail and I are both doing the Marathon 260 call right now, which is 260 consecutive days. And also, by the way, you get, I think it's 500 crew for the first part, and then it's 100 crew per month. Sorry, not crew, unit. $500 for the first part, and then it's $100 per month for the second part. But it's 260 days of consecutive training that explains all about the new economic evolution of the world. It explains all about how to do the network marketing side of it, how to build a list. It motivates you to build your team, okay? And also it tells you a little bit about the global investment portfolio and some of the instruments and some of the sectors, each of the individual sectors. So yes, we've got that. And we've also got the Master Profi course as well. But I don't know when the next Master Profi courses are going to be because of the lockdown. And that is a live 2-day or 3-day session, which also focuses a little bit. There's some trainings in that about how to work with people. But the Marathon 260 is really in depth about that. So you can go and do that if you like. Available in your back office if you go to EIPs and Marathon 260 in the blue panel.
Yeah, and it's been some very powerful training we've had in there as well, you know, which has helped people enormously. And with exactly what you said, the challenges with working with people, you know, we are people business, and, you know, there are challenges when you're talking at the beginning of the presentation, before it actually started, we had a conversation about the no's, you know, getting used to the no's, because we love no's, don't we, Mo? You know, we want more and more no's. You know, the more no's you get, you know, you'll hear this time and time again, you're nearer to that yes. And it is so true, you know, because eventually the law of averages, excuse me, says that you're going to get that yes. And it's a numbers game. You need to really, really speak to as many people as you can. You know, the fact that Digital Doubles is going to bring thousands of people who want to speak to you, thousands of people are not going to probably sign up with you, you know, but there will be hundreds and hundreds who will, because it's a numbers game, you know. And just get used to it, because they're not saying no to you, they're saying no to, you know, they might have other challenges in their lives, they might be distracted with family matters and other business, you know. So it's not personal, don't take it personal, just learn to handle it. Okay, and you know, get back to your sponsor. There's lots and lots of Facebook groups now out there. There's the official NEW education group. You can go and search that. Has to be put in that, say you're a member of NEW. You know, there's lots of training and ideas. You know, we are giving a lot back. It's just that people probably not quite sure where to go to it. And even now in our back offices, if you go to the API tab, and underneath the yellow VIP button, I think it's a green button, if you press that, it gives you videos now on how to set up and how to navigate all your back office, how to transfer things, how to do things within there. So, you know, we're starting to build, we're going to be getting new websites. Okay, it's not going to be, we've got so much going on, it's probably been pushed back a bit, you know, till perhaps beginning of next year, but we're getting new websites which will be these, you know, really easy to navigate, and there'll be more things coming in there. So, you know, it's like everything, like we said, nothing can be done, even big corporate businesses can't do everything all at once. They have to plan, and everything has to be in order, there has to be a timeline. So everything's coming, you know, just keep tapping into these presentations, and any you see, go to your back office, go to the news section, you know, every day, go to the news section, scroll down and keep scrolling, because there's lots and lots of information, links to webinars in all different languages. You know, there is a lot in there. And I think that's all I've got to say, because otherwise I could go on all night. I have to learn to shut up and have another call in 10 minutes.
Gail, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Are there guys, give a round of 8s for Gail, please, again, because she's just got so much passion tonight. It's amazing. Thank you. Stephanie, did that answer your question? Was that good for you? Do you have any other questions? Have you already joined our community? Have you already joined? You have. Okay. Do you have any other questions? Does anyone have any other questions that we can help you with? Because we'd love to help. Could be to do training, could be to do with clarifying what it is that we actually do. Okay, I don't think there's much activity here, Gail.
No, I think we'll call it today. We'll finish the meeting off now. Let everybody get back to doing what they were doing beforehand, and the families. Thursday there's another meeting, same time, 7 o'clock. Magda, Blaze, I think Jacqueline, are doing Thursday. Are they you Thursday, Mo?
I believe they are. I believe it was
yeah. They'll be doing the Thursday presentation and may well be putting on the business training at the end of it. But if people want to come, bring somebody with you, you know, speak to them about the business first so they understand what, you know, they've got an idea what the business is about. Have your conversations, do that with them, and then bring them onto the presentation and let them have an overview of it. I mean, there's so much to this business. You know, we are giving you the tip of the iceberg when we go through it. We have lots and lots of different webinars, presentations going on. There's been lots for YouGain. If you've not been on or Google the YouGain in the, not Googled, the YouTube channel, the new YouTube channel now. We've got an English one, we've got different languages, YouTube channels. You know, go in there and look and watch the videos on YouGain, watch the videos on digital doubles to get a really good understanding, just in case you're not in the first 1,000, you know, but it's coming. It'll be coming for us all. Just be patient, and we'll look forward to hearing the success stories of the people who did take on board digital doubles, because it's not just about getting people, it's about getting income, and it's about building the portfolio. Okay, so on that, Mo, thank you very much to Mo. Please give Mo a big round of applause as normal. He brings a lot of knowledge and energy to the meetings. So if you could put a 5 in the group for a big round of applause for Mo.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So thank you all very much, and we will see you this time next week. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.